Don't forget to hit that bell.
I'll pay your royalties, don't worry. Well, goddammit, if you weren't so upset about being filmed.
So this is mounted to this now. This bell housing, I think is what it's called, or something. Anyways, it unbolts so you can access everything inside. You got to bolt the torque converter down, and then you can put these bolts in, and that's ready to go. Next thing we just finished was these motor mount bolts. In this case there's 3 of them, so we got those all buttoned in, ready to go. What we have left is an oil filter and a starter, and I think the starter's on the other side. Yeah, starter's there. Bolting this flywheel down is definitely a 2-man job, because while one man's bolting this down, someone has to go on the engine and stop it from spinning so you can actually get this thing torqued down good. And on this one you have to do it from the starter side, which is the passenger side. And there are 6 bolts, I think there were, 15 millimeter. I just pulled the tape off of, not this side, but that side. It's gonna leave a little residue. You can maybe almost see some of it, but I'm gonna spray that down with some parts cleaner, brake cleaner, and get that all taken care of before I put on the manifold gasket. Okay, the gasket's in, but now we gotta torque these bolts kind of from the center, and then you look up the torque specs on that. I think it's 45 inch-pounds the first time, go kind of in a circle around the whole thing, and then the second time is 80 inch-pounds. Here's the torque specs. And the pattern, you kind of start in the center. Where the hell's 3? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a reenactment of previously on things. These are kind of a pain in the ass to get seated with the new O-rings and all that. But if you beat the hell out of it, it might actually work. This is kind of what we're left to. We got the coil pack on the one side, alternator, we got an idler pulley of some sort, we got plug cables, we also need to put plugs in, fan, intake, oxygen sensor, whatever the crap those things are, and this cover that goes on the top to make it all look nice and pretty. And then I think we're running. Oh, battery 2. Remember, this is aluminum on this particular engine, so don't strip anything. Oh, I got one more back here. Not plugged in. 1, 2, 3, 4 plugged in. 4 on each side. Good to go. Except for whatever the hell that thing is. Oh, duh. Plug wires. Alternators always have these little things that kind of sandwich the alternator in. Don't be afraid to give them a little love, so the alternator will fit better. And then when you put the bolts in, it'll just squish that thing back in anyways. If it's not obvious, it should be obvious that the pulley goes to the front where all the rest of the pulleys are. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. After these are torqued down nice and tight, there's a plug right here, and there's one little wire right back here that we gotta figure out, which is probably this one. So I'll do that. Off the power steering pump. I almost forgot that. Actually, I did forget that, but I just happened to see it on accident. Don't forget stuff. Yeah, we got the radiator in. They're just like 2 little couple of stud things at the bottom that it sits in. and then 2 bolts in the top. That's the whole thing. But now we gotta hook up all these extra hoses. This particular one has a coolant for the oil, and I think for the power steering fluid too. Goes through the radiator as well as all the radiator hoses. So I'll do that. That's this whole spider web worth of crap that's just like laying there in the way. Fired right up. You're gonna have to take my word for it. Didn't get it on film because I expected that we didn't hook it all up so it wouldn't fire. My bad. We started up. The only problem we found was this heater hose was leaking. But it's actually because this clamp just kind of fits loosely around it. So that's not a big deal. We'll get a better fitting clamp. And otherwise we just got to top off the fluids. Radiator fluid. We did a pan service on the tranny. See what I mean? So we're going to top off the tranny fluid, radiator fluid, and I think we're good to go. Boom.